This video will show how to use the Countdown Instant app. The first thing that I want to mention about the Countdown Instant app is that it's a little bit of a misnomer, the word countdown, because it's not really any time involved in this. It's more of ranking or a quantity. Like in this particular example, we're looking at how many dual enrolled students are in each school district within the Harrisburg area community college service area. And you can see that the lighter colors indicate that there's less students in that school district, and the darker colors indicate that there's more. So it's really, like I said, more of a ranking or a quantity. So to build our instant app, and this one is already built, but I can still take you through the process on this. You first select the map or scene, and that is already selected. But if you don't have it selected, you just click that button, and then you just go through your list of maps to grab the map that you want. You then can fill in the item details for the map here, and you all know how to do that by going into the item details here and filling in the title, adding a thumbnail, a description, and a summary there. But for the sake of this demonstration, I'm just going to skip that in there. Then you hit next, and this is where you decide what type of countdown that you want. Do you want to use the countdown as ranked locations, or do you want to use the leaderboard, which is a sorted list? Or do you want to use both? In this particular example, I'm using both, but that's not normally done. Usually one or the other is picked here, but I decided to use both because I just figured it would give the users different ways of looking at the same information. And then the details is this area here, and if I actually go back there, this is like the details, and it kind of just explains what the app is all about. And then I did a little screenshot of my legend so I could put it here in addition to having it here. So it's kind of at two places. But you then need to configure these. So the details, you just click on this little thing here and you name what you want to call it. And then this is where the text is located in here, and you can format that text really any way that you want. Once you're done with that, you then go to the countdown and you also configure this, and you select what layer it is. And in this particular thing, there's three layers in this. There's the campuses, there's the county outlines for the counties that are in the HAC service area, and then the school district boundaries. So you select the data layer that you're using. How many features do you want to display? Do you want the top 20, the top 40, the top 10, whatever that you want? And then which field has the ranking in? And these are all the attributes from my attribute table, but it's the count of points that is the one that has how many students are in it. Then you have like different visualizations that you can do here, and those you really just have to kind of play around with to see what they do. I'm using the muted blur there. You determine the ranking order if you want them high to low, low to high. I chose high to low. And then you can put custom text to display in the paging area, which it's this area in here. And this is what this is showing. And then you can enable filtering if you want, and I don't do that just because I don't want to enable filtering on this. So once you're done with that, you go back, and now you have all your three, then you go to leaderboard, and it's the exact same thing as you did with the countdown. So you this is where all the action happens in configuring how the app works, or these little edit pencils next to each one of these, and again you determine which that you want. Once you're done with that, you hit next, you add your title, you can put a URL there if you choose. I'm going to get rid of that shortcuts menu. I don't want that there. And then I'm going to hit next. Sharing, it puts this button up here, and this allows you to share to social media. And it also allows you just to copy the link so that you can look at the app or share it with anyone. And that's how you get the app for your app if you ever need it too, by the way. And then hit next. Select whether you want dark or light mode. This one I have light mode with an indigo theme, and this is where I have all the different tools. And I'm going to drag my legend up to the upper right with all the other stuff so that they're all together, and then hit next. I'm not going to use the language switcher, and then you hit publish. And I'm going to hit publish. And I hit confirm, and then it will publish the app. Because I already published this prior, I'm going to come here, and you notice that this is where we can hit our set our share settings, and you want it to be public with everyone. And then this is also where you would actually grab the link for your instant app. One thing I do want to mention is that you don't grab this link because this is in configure mode. If you give this link for an assignment or share it with a colleague to show off your awesome maps, they're going to see exactly what you're seeing here. They're not going to actually just see your map. When you copy the link and open it up then in a browser, this is what things will look like. And this is a good way of testing. And by the way, a really good tip, and when this is done loading, I'll tell you a tip that's really helpful. So here we have our instant app. So if you ever need to check to see if you have shared things properly, open an incognito browser, because if it's not shared properly, you're going to get the sign-in screen, and that's an indication that you goofed up somewhere and you need to go back and fix that. So always a good thing to always check as a last step to make sure that everything opens by going to that incognito browser. So that's the Countdown Instant App. It's kind of fun. So I hope you find a good use for this, because it can really show off things nicely. Oh, and one thing I didn't do, you can see how it works. Just come here and you can see like the countdown. You can just kind of filter through these. And it counts down, and it's being persnickety at the moment. There we go. Now it's counting down, and it's just zooming you in, and then you can click on each one and get a little pop-up for each school district. Then the leaderboard is completely different. You can they have them in order, and then you can see how many dual enrolled students there are just by looking at the pop-up. So that's the countdown. I hope you find a use for it. Good luck.